John Bentley.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck, and you are now tuned into the Cowboys fans only channel. So I need everyone in the chat. Y'all know the drill, But if you're new, comment, like, subscribe somewhere down there, and be sure to turn that notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content. So, I've been just kind of chilling, man. Y'all see me on different shows doing my things or whatnot. But I said, you know what? I just need to come back and just me, one man, by himself, and just talk to the fam, man. So, a lot of you guys have been riding with me since I started this channel. I had 2 subscribers. Now we're all at 1,000 subscribers, man. So I really just wanted to take some time tonight. We're going to kick back, relax. I got a few things to talk about, but I know you guys got some questions. Keep the chat lit, man. We're going to address everything, kick back, and just have some fun. And I got some new software, too, man. I got some new software. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Tell me, can y'all hear this? Y'all hear that draft bell? Man, I got some new toys, man. I got some new toys I'm playing with. So I know I got a lot of new great guests coming on, man. So I want to get some new toys I want to play with, man, as far as on my live show. Let's see. Y'all couldn't hear that? Y'all can't hear my draft bell? Ah, man. Hold on. No draft bell, no sound effects. Hold on, let me see if I can crank it up. Let me see if I can crank it up. Hold on. Let me try this. Y'all hear it now? Soft sound. So I need to crank it up. Let me see if I can crank it up, man. We gotta crank this thing up to the max. Hold on. Let me see if I can crank it up a little bit for y'all, man. I don't want to. Oh, y'all heard it? Y'all heard it that time? I don't want to blow y'all. I don't want to blow y'all speakers out, man. Oh, let me try it one more time. There we go. All right, we good, man. So yeah, I got some new toys, man. I just want to play with, man. So keep the question. He said it was loud. All right, you know, we tried out some. Hold on. All right, man. But we're gonna have some fun tonight, man. So keep the questions coming. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, man. So I got a few things I want to talk about, and what I wanted to dive in tonight was the safety position, man. So I know that, you know, we've been having a lot of questions when it comes to the safety position. Are we going to address a safety? And at what round in the draft do we really need to look to take on a safety? Now, shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboy, on his Boss Cowboy Sports last night. He had a take about, you know, Donovan Wilson can still play the free safety position. Now, I personally, and this is just me, I personally prefer Donovan Wilson as a strong safety versus a free safety. But if the Cowboys really think of Donovan Wilson as a free safety caliber player where he could slide back if Demonte Casey decides to fall, does that really open up the opportunity for us to draft a strong safety type player? Because I know we were talking about the Richie Grants. We talked about my guy Hamza Nasruddin, and I was kind of out on that position because I wanted a true free safety. But last night, Boss was kind of opening my eyes to a few things. Shout out to the Boss Cowboy, man. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that we need a true free safety, or would you guys be okay with going with the hybrid? But I feel like for me personally, I think I want a true free safety, a single high guy that's good in space that can cover, and I prefer to have Donovan Wilson at the strong safety position. That's just me. I feel like that's where he's the best, up on the line of scrimmage, and he can do a lot more than he can do back in space. Now, granted, he did say, you know, moving on from Xavier Woods, you know, you can pretty much put me back there. I think the Cowboys are going to get an upgrade. But for the most part, I would like to get a true free safety. I want a single high guy. My guy, Matt Owen, shout out to Matt, said single high guy, moving the chains. These safeties, I really like them all. Yeah. So let me ask you this, moving the chains. Where do you think that we should be eyeing a safety? Do you think the second round is too high? Or should we wait just a tad bit to maybe get with my guy, BJ Nix, salute to my guy, Nix, maybe getting an Andre Cisco or a Darius Washington, which is one of my favorite safeties. So do you think the third round's where we should aim, or do we go ahead and reach early in the second? Let me know in the chat. My guys, see, Carlos, free safety, maybe a hybrid. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, even though the game is transitioning to more of that hybrid, I feel like what the Cowboys need is just a guy that can cover. A land shark is what I've been saying on this channel and others, man. I really need that in Dallas. I don't think that Demonte Casey is going to be a hybrid by any means. He's going to be kind of a ball hawker back there in the single high. And also, like I said, that's what I'm really looking for. So let's dive into a few names. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with all these guys, but I have a few notable sleepers that I had tied as well. Richie Grant. So let me know, how high are you guys on Richie Grant? Now, I'll say this. Richie Grant from UCF, he is a high caliber player. But where I was kind of out on Richie Grant, he was a strong safety, and I feel like he doesn't fit what we actually need right now, right? And so, like, no knock against Richie Grant. I know a lot of you guys are high on Richie Grant. But personally, for me, I was kind of even when I watched film on him, I didn't see what everyone else was seeing. I didn't see the glitz and the glamour that everyone was alluding to when they watched Richie Grant. For me personally, I saw a decent player, a decent caliber player, but I don't see transcending by any means when I watch Richie Grant. Trayvon Moorick, another guy from TCU. a guy that I've watched. He was actually one of the first safeties that I looked at when I started, looking at draft film, because I heard a lot about him out of TCU, because I'm in Big 12 country, so I hear a lot, about these Big 12 teams. Now, I'll say this about Morik. Though he is a free safety, he's a true free safety, he's a little tight to me as far as his coverage is concerned. Like, he doesn't look as fluid when I watch Trayvon Morik that I would want as a free safety. And I know it's kind of been the knock on him as far as his hip movements, lateral movements, or whatnot. I can't run that risk when it comes to a free safety with Trayvon Morik. Though he's great in coverage, he's very cerebral. I like his intangibles that he brings and could bring to his defense. But I think that you would have to reach almost in the second round to get Morik. And I feel like when it comes down to Morik, between the next few guys that I'm about to mention, the separation isn't that drastic where I need to take a second round pick on him and reach. I feel like Morik will be a reach at that second round. So I'm kind of out on it. But just like my guy Stevie Mack just said, second round is legit for a safety or linebacker if they went with a corner in the first. And I agree. So that's where I kind of have, so kind of let you guys some insight how I got my draft board. I'm almost finished. Like, I'll be finished Sunday. Like I said, Sunday, man, it's pencils down. Knicks, there you go. There's our free safety, Patrick Surtain. But I have BPA in the first round, right? BPA. I have a tackle or a cornerback. Those are the three options I'm looking for at the 10 spot. At the 44th pick, I'm looking at linebacker or corner. So if we don't take a corner in that first round, then I damn sure think we need to take a corner in that second round, because those corners can go off the board very quickly, and you don't want to be caught in with your hands, empty. Like we did the other night when we did the mock draft. We didn't take a corner in the first round. We were going to wait, and then it was just like boom, boom, boom. They were all going off the board. So I would be looking for a linebacker or corner with the 44th pick. And then 75 is where I was eyeing safety, right? That's where I was kind of eyeing safety. And then kind of, for the most part, my mock drafts, that was going to be Washington territory, Nazrul Dean, Cisco, Paris Ford, Javon Holland was still available. Holland's been one of those guys, and I know Matt Owen, that's one of your guys, is Javon Holland. He's been kind of fluctuating. I know last year he was the biggest name coming out of Oregon. And actually, my best friend, his sister is married to a football coach who plays for Oregon, and we kind of talked to him off grid about Javon Holland. So he says he's a very solid guy, a very hard worker, but just with Holland, man, I just can't get a grasp on do I like him or not. I'm kind of okay with it. So I would think Holland might be there in the third round, maybe. It really depends on where the other team stands. So it's kind of hard to get a gauge on him, because I see anywhere from second round to fourth round when it comes to his grades. So kind of hard to see that. Let's see. Matt Owen, yeah, I love Holland, elite coverage guy. Yeah, man. I mean, he is elite, man, like I said, but he just doesn't stand out to me. Stokes, that is off. My guy Mark Cantor. I like Andre, but he makes a business decision. Yeah, he's not going to come down and hit, but he can get turnovers, and that's something we desperately need in Dallas's turnovers. So Andre Cisco, so let's get into that from Syracuse. Shouts out to my guy Spoonie. I know that's his guy, and I've been kind of seeing, Cisco being mocked maybe third or fourth round. So I feel like that would be an actual steal if we're able to get an Andre Cisco, bring him in-house, pair him with DeMonte Casey. You're already going to have Reggie Robinson back there. I like that, because the one thing about Andre Cisco, he's a playmaker. He's going to make plays, and that's all I'm really looking for, is just a guy that can get back and make plays, especially if we're going to have a second-year guy at corner and also a first-year guy possibly at outside corner. We need someone that can get over the top, has a sense for the ball, and can make plays. So, shouts out to Andre Cisco. He's definitely a turnover machine. So, I could see us going that route maybe in the third or fourth round. And, of course, my guy, man, Darius Washington, man. He's one of my favorites in this draft, man. I've been very high on this kid. I think he was interviewed the other day. And yeah, I also want to mention that I thought I typed in Jamar Johnson from Indiana. I think I deleted him on accident because he was in there and something happened. I think he didn't get added on there. So Jamar Johnson from Indiana is another guy who's been moving up since his pro day. A lot of people have been high on him. I watched film on him. I think Jamar Johnson might be a second round guy. So I think that, if you're going to go second round, it might have to be Johnson, Richie Grant, or Morik. Those would kind of be the second round guys that I'm kind of going right now. Let's see, Kavanaugh says he gives up a lot of big plays also. Rashad, are you speaking about Darius Washington? Is that who you're speaking about? Because I like Washington, man. Oh, Cisco. Cisco gets a big place. Yeah. Yeah, Cisco's a reach, man. But like I said, Darius Washington is like one of my favorite safeties. He came out and did the interview, said he would love to be a Dallas Cowboy. He kind of pulled the Earl Thomas thing. If you have a chance to come get me, come get me. Now, we all know how that goes, man. But, Darius Washington's a guy that I think is just a single high guy. He can get to the ball. He's fluid. He can move. Didn't have the best pro day. But I'll say this, man, about pro days. Some people, including myself, you're just not test takers, right? Like, I was like that in school, man. I'll do all the homework right, but when it's time for the test, I would get anxiety. I would freeze up. Now, granted, playing in Dallas, you're going to have that pressure. You want players that can step up to the big moments, but I think he ran a 4.6. I think he's on about 5'8", measurable. So he doesn't have the measurables, but sometimes you just got to look at a player and say, can you play, right? Can you play? Can you provide what we need here in Dallas? And for me, I think our Darius Washington would be that guy that I could trust to come in to be that ball hawking safety. If you pair him with KZ to have KZ as the bridge guy, then you have a Darius Washington out there, maybe kind of competition or see what happens. I'm perfectly fine with that, especially if you get him in the late third or the fourth round. So I'm okay with that. And then the last guy, my guy from Florida State, of course. And I think this was happening. I think I had Jamar Johnson on here, but I had to take him out and put one of my nose in here. Hamza Nasruddin. Now, I'm really high on Hamza Nasruddin because he's one of those hybrid safeties that we spoke about earlier. A guy that can play strong safety, free safety, maybe kind of a hybrid will linebacker, kind of the Keanu Neal type mold. So if you're able to add that to this roster, I'm all for it. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I saw a post the other day. I think it was on Twitter, right? They were talking about Marvin Wilson might be a second-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm going to be as honest as I can, man. You guys know I'm no-blooded. My guy Mendoza, he's no-blooded. And I'm sure Mendoza would agree with me, bro. Second round is a little too rich for my blood for Marvin Wilson, right? We know the injury history. He has a great motor, but he's boom or bust. Sometimes Marvin like the best player on the field, and I've been saying this, but sometimes you can look out and say, where the hell is he? I just don't think that you take Marvin Wilson, with a second round. You can probably get Alan McNeil at the second round. You can possibly get some other defensive tackles if Barmore was to slide. I feel like they give you a lot more value than what my guy Marvin Wilson. Like, granted, y'all know I've been wanting to get a Noel on this team for so long, right? Besides Marquez White. I've been trying to get a Noel on my team, but I don't think Marvin Wilson's a second round guy. I feel like that would be a super reach. And of course, I'll be excited for my guy, but I'd be like, the Cowboys, you kind of reached too early for that, man. So I'm kind of out on the whole idea of drafting Marvin Wilson. If we're going to go second round, just like Mendoza just said, Asante Samuel Jr., clearly. And, I know he doesn't meet the measurables, but I'll say this, y'all. He reminds me a lot of Jair Alexander. And Jair Alexander, right? Even though he's not the biggest guy, he's a great cover corner. He just knows how to play the game. And I feel that with Asante Samuel Jr., man. He's just a guy that can just be around the ball. He can tackle. He plays hard. He has a knack for the ball. He can play free safety as well. He can travel. He can do it all. I've been saying this. If he was 6'1", we would have a completely different conversation when it comes to these top three corners because my guy Asante Samuel would definitely be in the conversation. His only limitation is his height. But if we're going to go with the Seminole, one of my guys, in the second round, Asante Samuel Jr. would be the pick. I'm out on Marvin Wilson. But back to Nasruddin. Like I said, a great guy, length. He's physical, can do it all. He had a few injuries at Florida State, but for the most part, man, he's a guy I could trust. And I think he could fit that Keanu Neal type mold because Keanu Neal, we got to understand, he's only signed for 1 year, right? He's only signed for 1 year. How long will he really be here? And so that's one of the things you can kind of get a guy in-house, learn Dan Quinn's scheme, learn his system under Keanu Neal, who's a veteran, and maybe there you got your bridge right there, man. So that's my guy, Hamza Nasruddin out of Florida State. Another guy that I fallen in love with around Easter, I was kind of sitting back in no man's land watching film, is James Wiggins out of Cincinnati. I'm not sure if you guys have heard on him, man, but I like James Wiggins out of Cincinnati. He's a big physical guy. Yeah, appreciate you, Knicks. James Wiggins is actually a physical guy. Now, he had some injuries, but when you watch James Wiggins on films, man, he's around the ball. He can tackle. He can come down. So he might be one of my 4th or 5th round steals if the cover gets bare on draft day. So when I've been doing a few mocks, he's been the guy I've been kind of keeping in my back pocket. Like, is he available or is he not? But for the most part, we've been taking safeties a lot earlier. But James Wiggins is definitely a guy that you should take a look at. Paris Ford from Pittsburgh, of course. Paris Ford from Pittsburgh. I know we've spoken about him numerous times. Shout out to my Star Gang family, Knicks, Mariella, Spoonie, man. Paris Ford. I think Paris Ford would probably be 4th round, maybe 3rd, 4th round, depending. I think Paris Ford would be one of those guys that we could possibly get maybe with 99 or 115 with Paris Ford. Divine Diablo from Virginia Tech. I know a lot of people's been high on him just off of his name. Just off of his namesake, man, but he's a decent safety, kind of more of that hybrid mold, man. But I like Diablo, but also like I said, Jamar Johnson, man. But I also thought about this idea because I've been, you guys know that one of my favorite, my pet cats when I did my second pet cat video was Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. And when I'm starting to look around on Tyson Campbell, I'm seeing a lot of people have him as a converted free safety. So, once again, here we get the opportunity to maybe, get a guy with the speed, the athleticism, the physicality of a Tyson Campbell, and maybe put him back at free safety to kind of be, that converted. Because I don't think Tyson Campbell, to be honest with you, I wouldn't trust him as a pure outside corner. I think he's going to be more of a project because he has the physicality, he has the size, he has the length. But if you watch film on him, man, he gets cooked quite a lot. Shout out to Pitts train. He got Pitts trained a few times, man, when Georgia played Florida, man. So I would be open to putting Tyson Campbell at free safety. That's an option if he was to slide. And then, of course, my guy, Matt Owens' guy, Javon Holland, man. So let me know some of the guys, man, that you guys got at safety and what round are you looking to take some of these guys. Like I say, for the most part, I'm looking at 3rd round. It really depends on what we do in the first, right? It really depends on, what decision we actually make. If we go corner, I'm okay with waiting on safety. If we go BPA and we keep that pitch train rolling, then I'm thinking we have to go secondary in that 2nd round regardless. That's where I'm kind of at with it, man. So let me know down below, man, who are some other guys that I may have missed, man. My guy Carlos said if we draft Surtain or Horn. Yeah, so would you guys double dip? So if we draft, let's say, for instance, let's play a game, right? We draft Surtain or Horn at the 10 spot. We're here at 44. Are we going to circle back around and address the secondary again, or do you guys want to go linebacker? Let me know. Me, personally, I would go linebacker because I feel like the cover is a lot bare at the linebacker position than the safeties and also corners. So I would go to linebacker position. That's where I'm looking at a possible, Nick Bolton. My guy Nick Bolton, man, is sliding like crazy. I don't know what the hell he did. But if he slides down to us, man, I'm all for Nick Bolton. The new kid that's kind of moving up is Jamin Davis out of Kentucky that a lot of people are high on. I watched Jamin Davis, and I liked him. He's kind of like, I know Knicks is really high on the Joker. He's kind of like the fake Gucci bag version of the Joker, man. That's what I kind of call Jamin Davis. He's kind of light, but he can cover, and he can hold his own, man. So I like Jamin Davis. Also, Zaven Collins, that's Spoon's guy. I think Zaven Collins would go in the 1st round, right? Let's see, Tyree Gillespie out of Missouri. Yeah, that's another guy who's kind of has a question mark around him because I hear a lot of people talking about it. He might be a 4th or 5th round guy. When I watch film on him, that's right where I'll probably have him marked. And so he might be more of a project. But I feel like when the Cowboys start to get in the 4th and 5th round, man, it's like, will these guys really play? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the hard part because I want to say that's going to be able to contribute. And I feel like once we get in the 4th and 5th round, if we're waiting that long, we might have another Reggie Robinson type, Bradley and Nye situation. So that's the thing, man, because, I'll be honest with y'all, I really don't trust the DeMonte KZ signing. I'm really just not as optimistic about it. I feel like it's a decent signing, but I feel like we still got to address that free safety position. That ain't it. It's a Band-Aid. We got rid of Xavier Woods. But that ain't it, because he has to come back healthy. Now, if he can come back and be a shell of himself, then of course that's an upgrade. But I want a drastic upgrade when it comes to the free safety position, because we haven't had that in so long, y'all. We just haven't had that guy. And even though Donovan Wilson flashed, we also have to be aware, man, sometimes we know how it is in Dallas. Players will flash one season and fall off the map the next season. Jalen Smith, you know what I'm saying? So it happens, LVE. And so it happens frequently, man. So I really don't want to put all my chips in on Donovan Wilson and DeMonte Casey being those guys. I need more bodies, right? I need more bodies in-house. I need more competition. I need to solidify the secondary with open competition and get some more guys who are young, who are not injury prone, that can actually get out there and play and be contributors. So that's where I'm at, man. Shout out to my guy, Marvel. Donovan Wilson's my strong safety. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. I agree, man. I think that Donovan Wilson should be remaining at the strong safety position. I don't see him sliding back to free. Now, granted, he can, but I feel like that's not the optimal position for him to be in. I would like to see him seen at the strong safety. Because think about it. You will have Keanu O'Neal in coverage. You will have Donovan Wilson at the strong. And then you can have, your KZ or just one of these ball hawking guys in the Darius Washington. And then it kind of helps, man, because we need guys that can cover. I know that our focus has been on the run, but also the underneath game, man. We, on short yardage, when guys can get us out in the bootleg and keep us off balance, we really struggle with that, man. And so I feel like, if we get some guys that can cover the tight ends, take away the underneath routes, and be sensible about things, I feel like this Dallas Cowboys defense can drastically improve, man. So, yeah, that's where I'm currently at, man. Diggs and Surtain, Carlos, Diggs and Surtain. So, I've been having conversations, Pitts Train, man. Pitts Train, bro, people are mad at us, right? People are high-key pissed off at the Pitts Train. What do we do to them, man? What do we do to them? And I'm not going to say, I'm out on Surtain. And here's what I want to say, y'all. Even if it's Surtain, or if it's Horn, or if it's Sewell or Slater, or or Kyle Pitts, we're getting a high quality player at that 10 position. Now I know Mel Kiper came up with this whole situation about us, trading back with the Patriots, and I dropped my video earlier. I'm completely out on trading back, y'all. Just not me, man. I just don't see the benefit in it to be trading back. Post those pitch trains. I forgot my thing that's deleted. Post those pitch trains again, man. I forgot. I gotta change my settings. I'm just not out on trading back. I just don't feel like there's any value in trading back right now. And especially with the Patriots, because I'm saying like this. If the Patriots are able to sit, right, they're either going to catch probably a Mac Jones, which I think Mac Jones will not go as early as people are saying, but either catch a Trey Lance or a Mac Jones, right? The only real concern that we have is that if the Patriots think that someone's going to jump them to take a quarterback. So you have Washington in the mix, you have Vegas, I heard, in the mix. You have Chicago really in the mix. So would one of those teams really jump ahead to want to get ahead of the Patriots? I think not. It would have to be one of the big three to slide. It would have to be like a Justin Fields slides to 10, and that would really entice the Dallas Cowboys to want to trade maybe back, or maybe entice one of these other teams to really salvage their future and trade up for Justin Fields. I just don't see that happening. So here's what I've been trying to explain, y'all. We have 10 picks. We have 10 picks. People say, oh, well, Tuck, if we trade back, we can get another second rounder. Oh, but we can take number 75 currently, number 99 currently, and maybe move up into the later second round. So we have options, y'all. We have 10 damn picks. I just don't see the benefit of trading back behind division rivals, letting one of these elite talents possibly slide to them, right? Whether it's a Slater, whether it's a Sewell, whether it's a Chase, whether it's a Pitts. And I don't give a damn. And shout out to my guy, Skywalker. If you guys haven't checked out Around the Nation, man, amazing show. I was just on there with my guy, Joe Rob from CowboysBlog.net, also Space Cowboy, and also my guys, Dave Sturchio. But I just don't trust it, because a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they got Daniel Jones. They got Jalen Hurts. Let one of those weapons fall to them. They don't have a quarterback. Because once you start to apply weapons, it can make life a lot easier for these quarterbacks, man. And I do not want that. I don't want Jalen Hurts to sit back and say, all right, now I got Kyle Pitts here with me. All I gotta do is really just get him the ball and let him do his work. I'm just out on that whole idea. I'd rather just exit, not have to deal with it, and just take our guy. So whoever it is that the Cowboys want, go get that guy. So I know the conversation, everyone was so anti-trade up. You don't trade up. You don't trade up. They're saying you don't trade up for a tight end. Well, would you trade up for an offensive tackle who's going to be probably a future All-Pro, Hall of Fame caliber? Right? Would you trade up for, a Slater who's going to be probably a future All-Pro and the versatile offensive guard and tackle? Right. So let's get Pitts out of it, right? There's an opportunity to trade up and go get the guy you want, and we still have more than enough picks in the later rounds, guys. It's not like we trade up and we're done for the day. No, we got 10 picks. We might end up with 8. Probably 4 of these guys will actually be making the roster. A lot of these guys will be playing on, on practice squad. And my guy Matt Owens says, absolutely not. No trade up for O-line. Yeah, I would say that, but if the Cowboys are high on Sewell and that's their guy, I'm just like, go get your guy. Like, don't wait. Like, if the Cowboys believe that, you know what, Penei Sewell is the number one guy that we need to push this team forward, and we would love to have him sitting at 10 versus sitting at 7 and letting someone possibly snake you for it, just go get him, because you have more than enough picks to move up slightly to go get him. Now, would I trade a first round next year to move up? Probably not. Granted, our first round shouldn't be worth a damn next year if we handle business. But personally, for me, if that's who you want, be aggressive. Because like my guy Nick says, we're aggressive with the play calling with Mike McCarthy. We're going for it. We're running the fake punts on special teams. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're showing aggressiveness, right? Come to free agency, that died down, right? So if you're not going to be aggressive in free agency, please be aggressive in the draft. Don't just kind of sit back and do like you did for free agency and just, know what? Whatever happens, happens. We'll get a guy here, get a guy there. Nah. I'm fully for, if you have a guy that's high on your board and you think he's going to be, a generational talent, even though that word gets thrown around a lot, then go get him. Why play games? Go get him. But, I'm actually happy with getting either a Slater or a Sewell. So kind of let you guys get some insight how my board currently stands. It's Chase, of course. Pitts, of course, Sewell, and then Slater. And then we got some other guys, you know what I'm saying? So after that, then it comes to J.C. Horn, the Patrick Surtain, the Micah Parsons, it kind of dwindles down a little bit. But those are my 4 guys who I feel like I cannot get that caliber of player next year or also in these later rounds. Those 4 right there. So either 4 of those guys, I'm definitely okay with the Dallas Cowboys being aggressive to go get. So we'll definitely see, man. But you guys got to tune in. We're going to drop some more information on this, but I'll let you guys know because you're all fam. We're going to be doing a live draft party with the Star Gang family, man. Me, Mariella, Nick, Spoon. Man, we're going to be covering the draft like crazy. We're going to be giving out gifts and prizes, all sorts of craziness, man. So we cannot wait to enjoy you guys on draft night. So definitely tune. We got more information coming for that, man. But subscribe to the channel, Cowboys fans only. And then go over to the Star Gang podcast channel and subscribe to that because it's all family, man. We're all family. We are family, man. So we're gonna be doing a lot this draft, man. Because honestly, we put in a lot of work when it comes to draft. Me personally, I know all of us have, man. It's been a long road with this draft. We're gonna kick back and celebrate and have some fun draft night. We have to, bro. It's gonna be like me just, finally. I'm not watching film for a few months. I'm not scouting no more players. I'm chilling after draft time. So, we're definitely going to have a fun party, man. Got to. Yeah, keep those trains rolling, man. Because that's what it is. We come too far. And I know I kind of hopped out the train a little bit. I hopped back in. Like I said, y'all, we've come too far with this whole pitch situation. And don't need to back down, man. And here's what happens. If it does happen, it's going to make it even more powerful, man. Even more memorable, man. So, pitch train all aboard, man. So, I'm definitely with it. Let's see here. Slater's my guy if we go online. So let's have that question. Who is your guy? Is it Sewell or is it Slater? Let me know in the chat. Because I've gone back and forth on this. And what my pick is, and you guys know, if you guys watch the channel, I was kind of out on the whole idea on my guy Moses Pitts, choo. I I've been back and forth on this, y'all, but I have Slater ahead of Sewell, right? And hear me out. The reason why is because I feel like Slater could come in and be a better guard than Penny Sewell could be right now. Right? Sewell can come in, we can get Connor Williams up out of there, plug in Rashawn Slater, and get back to business. Now, if something was to happen with Tyron or Lyle Collins, then we can always swing one of those players out, whether it's Slater or Connor, go back to right tackle. We can always swing one of those guys out and be perfectly fine. When it comes to Sewell, though I think that he would be decent at guard, I feel like he is really more of a prototypical tackle. Like, tackle is where his money is made, at the tackle position. But I'm just like, if it's Sewell and Tyron's healthy and Lyle's healthy, because I saw this on Twitter, it's like, as soon as we draft the offensive lineman, both of our tackles are going to be the healthiest they ever been. We're going to be super healthy next year, and it's going to really throw things off. But I was like, I feel like Sewell would be more of a tackle of the future, but you're going to have to stash him. And so where do you really stash him? You can stash him in guard, but I don't think the Cowboys would do that. I would feel a lot more comfortable with Slater. He's more cerebral, right? He's a smart guy. He's very intelligent. He has strength. He has speed. You know, you could plug him at the guard position and then swing him out the left tackle. Versus Sewell, it's more like brute force. And so when it comes down between the two tackles, it's kind of like the J.C. Horn versus Surtain deal. Like, I feel like you have brute strength and aggressiveness and Horn and Sewell, and then you have cerebral day one players that can really come in. You know, but the ceiling isn't as high with Slater that I would say with Sewell. But, you know, it goes back and forth, man. But I think I have Slater as of right now. Like I said, I'm going to put my pencils down on Sunday, man. I have Slater over Sewell currently, but just by a small margin, because I feel like Slater can come in and actually play guard. My guy Mendoza says trade Connor Williams and get another 5th round pick. There we go. See, we got an option to trade. We got options to trade. You know, so yeah. Slater has a better anchor than Sewell. Slater is a Tyron protection also. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Marv. Like, I feel like he gives us that versatility that can do a little bit both, man. And I feel like he'll be more day one ready where we currently stand in our situation than Sewell would be. But no knock against Sewell, man. I think Sewell would be the first tackle off the board, to be honest with you. But I think if we are able to get Slater, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The other night when we did this like a few months ago, I was out on Slater until I started watching him. I was like, all right, damn, this kid is freaking good, man. Slater, possibly Martin Jr. Yeah. And yeah, I can see that, man. He's extremely smart, extremely intelligent. You know, playing the offensive tackle, man, and offensive guard, man, you have to be smart. A lot of people don't understand that. Even at center, like you're the brains of the whole offense, man. There's so much going on, dissecting what defenses are doing. You have to have the intangibles to really play up there, and I feel like Slater will bring that day one. Let's say bye to Michael Gallup after this season. I'll say this, Carlos, bro. It really depends on what we do in the draft, right? You know, like if we go get another wide receiver, you know, or you know, then maybe. But I feel like if we're going to make the move on a wide receiver and get rid of Gallup, I feel like tick, we got 2 weeks to do it, right? I feel like we need to move. If we're going to move on from Michael Gallup, we need to do it before the draft, right? So I just don't see the Cowboys doing it. You know, I think they're going to bring Michael Gallup because, like I've always been saying, Michael Gallup is the one wide receiver that brings something to this offense that the others don't, right? They just don't. And so he's our deep threat. You know, he's our over-the-top guy and go get it. Now, if that Pitts train rolls on into Dallas, then we can be a little bit more open to moving on from Michael Gallup. But I've been hearing a lot that, like, Michael Gallup likes Dallas, you know, but we always hear this, right? Oh, he likes Dallas. He likes playing for the star, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's cool. You know, with the salary cap possibly moving back up, I don't trust the Dallas Cowboys, even with the cap moving up, to give him a fair offer. But it really just depends on how much does he like it. I don't think Michael Gallup wants to be a third wheel in anyone's offense. So I think that he will be leaving on. You know, Stephen Jones like this comp pick so we can walk in the draft with, you know, whatever. So I think we keep Michael Gallup, man. You know, but I'm open to moving Connor Williams, though. So That's where I currently stand. But I like Michael Gallup. Like I've been saying, I want to come in to next season, 2021, y'all, weapons loaded. I want to be loaded on offense. I want to be overpowered. So that's why I've been so vocal about this Pitts train. And a lot of people just can't see the big picture, and I don't understand why. I just don't understand how people cannot see the big picture. It's not about Kyle Pitts per se. It's about getting that final infinity stone where you really cannot do anything with their offense. Like, because here's the thing. If we take Patrick Surtain, and let's say, for instance, we play the Falcons opening game. Do you think they're going to scheme around Patrick Surtain? No. Let's say we play Kansas City after that. You think Kansas City's going to have to scheme around and change their offense based on what Patrick Surtain does? No. Now, if you flip it and we get Kyle Pitts and we play the Falcons week 1 in Jerry's world, their defense has a huge WTF bubble, right? Like, what do we do? What do we do when they come out with Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper? They got a tight end that's just as talented as some of the wide receivers, and they also have Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. Then you also got to take on from Dak using his legs and being able to skirt out. It's just too much. It's too much. So there's nothing wrong, y'all, with making a strength even stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I don't know why people can't grasp that concept. Shout out to my guy Nick's, man. Catch us tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 8 p.m., right? But there's nothing wrong with making a strength even stronger. That's like telling Giannis, man, all you do is dunk. You don't need to focus on continuing to drive in the lane. No, you continue to work on being able to drive the lane. Now, you can add some other things like a three-point shot and, other things to your game. But eventually, man, attack the rim. That's what you do best. You keep attacking. And I feel like right now, the Cowboys currently stand, our offense is here. Our defense is here. And adding a few players puts us here, right? Why not just get that one guy that can take your offense here? You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm at with it, because it's like what the Cowboys failed to do, and they failed us all. They did not address the defense in free agency. They didn't. They had the opportunity for a value price to bring our defense up to a mid-tier level. They chose not to. And so putting that ownership on rookies to come in and do it, it's just not going to happen. I would have felt a lot more comfortable if you had a Patrick Peterson, or you went and got a AJ Boye, or someone who's actually been in the game. And I think AJ Boye kind of released some news today that Cowboys were interested, but they didn't want to pay, and sounds Stephen Jones-ish. So yeah, man, but I would have been more interested if they bring in a Casey Hayward, or even, get some of Richard Sherman, but they passed the buck around so much. We are backed into a corner where we're going to depend on rookies to come in and really salvage this defense. That's crazy. Let's see, a question I saw. What's up, Cajun Cowboy? What's up from New Orleans? What's up, bro, man? Appreciate you for joining in. Are we going to do a live stream on draft night? Absolutely, man. So definitely tune in. We're going to get some more details, but it'll be me, Spoonie, Mariella, and my guy BJ Nix. And so we're definitely going to pass out some more information on that on draft night, giving away prizes, all sorts of stuff, man. Draft night's going to be fun. Big bottles of Ciroc, big bottles of 151. No, I'm not doing no 151 on draft night. But it's going to be a fun night, so definitely tune in, man. We don't have a leader on defense. We just got studio gangsters. Yeah, I agree, Mo. I definitely agree with that, man. As things currently stand, we just don't have that guy, right? DeMarcus Lawrence is probably the one guy on our defense who offenses have to actually scheme around. For the most part, everything is and you know what I'm saying? So, and the thing about DeMarcus Lawrence, though he does his job, he's just not that vocal guy that can ignite a defense, right? His attitude doesn't sink to the locker room onto other players. I feel like that's the reason why a lot of fans, including myself, are so high on J.C. Horn, because we want that guy who gives us a Dez-like mentality on the defensive side of the ball, right? We all knew, like, when we back in the day when we had Dez Bryant, and Dez Bryant went up to Jenkins face to face before game, and he was talking, barking, that lifts you up. Like, me as a fan, I'm like, let's go, Dez. Let's punch these Eagles in the mouth, right? The same thing when he went against Josh Norman and Hill, like all these D'Angelo Hall, like all these type of players, man. Dez brought that electricity. As a Cowboys fan, before I was doing this, I knew no matter what, as long as I had Dez Bryant out there, we're gonna fight, right? We were gonna fight, and we're gonna play tough. We might lose the game, but Dez ain't gonna quit on me. Dez ain't going to quit on me, and I know for damn sure we was never going to do that. So, I feel like what the defense needs is just that guy, man. Think about it. If J.C. Horn comes out and we're playing, the Chiefs, and he has his mentality like, no, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. I don't give a damn. We're going to lock them up, and we're going to beat them when we go to Kansas City. You have to sit back as a team. You can't be like, man, that's all on you, bro. That's all on you. Nah, I play defense. I know some of you guys play defense. If he goes out and ride, you got to jump in the car and ride along with him. And I feel like J.C. Horn would be that guy. It's the same thing what Jalen Ramsey brought to the Jaguars. When he came out and was calling his quarterbacks garbage and trash and, Tyree Hill's only a special teams player, well, he already popped off of the mouth. We got to go back this up. So let's just do it, man. And you saw the attitude slowly change in Jacksonville. Even going back to what I always said, my favorite game in 2018 versus the Saints, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, right? You hit up in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he said that, he wrote a check that the defense had to cash, and we held up to it, man. So I think, granted, I don't want a guy that's all talk and no bark, all bark with no bite. But I need some type of attitude, change of culture when it comes to the defense, man. My girl moving the chain says, I think Diggs breaks out this year. He's going to get a full camp and in-house training, not Zoom. He was excellent given the circumstances last year and the injury, but Diggs explodes by week 8. Yeah, I'm very high on Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs is a great player and a great steal last year's draft that a lot of people outside of Dallas isn't speaking of. But I can see Trayvon Diggs taking that jump to being one of those guys in Dallas. So, absolutely. We better play defense like the Bucs did in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but here's the thing, and I tell people this, right? The Bucs defense played in the Super Bowl situational, right? And that's what it takes. Like, you can have a great defense like the Rams all year. In the playoffs, they don't show up. Was a defense, did the defense, like, it happens, man. So you need a defense that's going to play great in situational times. And I feel like what happened with the Bucs, they got to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs had a few injuries. They took advantage of their opportunity and they did what they had to do. So that's what it really takes, man. Can you get stops in the key moments? Do you need to be a top 10, top 5 defense to win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. But you got to be able to get stops in critical moments and get the ball back to your offense. And that's what the Bucs were able to do. Because you think about it, like I said, that very first game where the Chiefs and the Bucs met up, Patrick Mahomes was doing anything he wanted to do. Right? When we saw Antoine Winfield run up to Tyreek Hill and give the bunnies, right? That's because Tyreek Hill almost went for 300 yards that first game, and he did that to Antoine Winfield Jr. So it's like, all right, their defense was good, but they started to play good at the right time. And I'll say this, y'all, and I've said this numerous times on this channel. Our defense started playing well at the end of the season, starting to force turnovers. They started to find themselves, I would say, right? We finally got healthy in the secondary when Cheeto, Anthony Brown, and Diggs is playing all together, starting to get turnovers. If you would have gave me that defense that we had the last 5 games in Dallas and Dak Prescott and my offense back, we would have been a scary team to meet in the playoffs. And I say that not just being a Cowboys fan. I'm just saying that being 100, man. So, that's where I'm at with it. So the defense can continue to build off of that, get turnovers, get stops, and get the ball back to our offense, man. I feel like the sky's the limit. Let's see here. Let's see. If y'all take Pitts, you better be the 2000 Rams 2.0 out there to score teams 45-41 and shit because their defense was hot garbage. Yeah, but they were in the Super Bowl, though, and only lost by... And so, let's see here. I saw top 20. We will be moving and grooving, especially, getting turnovers. Yeah, exactly, Shane. If we're able to get turnovers and get the ball back to our offense, that's all I'm saying. And here's the thing. Just stop the run, right? Just stop the run. Just stop the run. because what teams were able to do, because they know, because we used to do the same scary game plan, right? Right? Get Ezekiel Elliott, run the ball 35 times. We get out with the win. Time of possession, win 17-14, get out with the win, right? So teams know what we have on offense, offensively, right? So what they're trying to do is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, keep our offense off the field, get the defense tired and wore down. But the thing about last year, our defense was not on the field too long because our defense was just giving up runs and getting gashed all over the place, man. So if our defense can play a lot better and stop the run, then that's going to help the defense tremendously. I mean, because I feel like overall our secondary didn't play as bad, like I said, once everyone got healthy. That's why I was so high on bringing Cheeto back. But we got to figure out a way to start the run. So that's what I've been saying. For everybody who's been, the Cowboys can't go BPA at 10, we got to go defense. We got to go defense, and the pick is Patrick Surtain. If you're a Cowboys fan and you watch like we all did, we all know the run game was the serious issue. So why aren't you beating the drum for Micah Parsons? Right? Because Patrick Surtain, he doesn't help in the run game. Nah, he don't help with the run game, right? We need someone to help with the run game. So if you're so defense wins championships and Tuck, we got to address the defense. We can't draft Kyle Pitts because he's just a tight end. We can go defense. Then you need to put your stamp of approval on Micah Parsons and not Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn, because that does nothing for our need, right? But nah. It's one a corner. It's one a corner, man. Yeah, Mo. Once we got rid of those poison free agents, play a lot better. Yeah, continuity in the locker room matters. It really does matter, man. Like, you got to have continuity. You got to play with people that you like. You got to be in sync. You got to play as a unit, man. And I feel like for some reason, those out-of-house guys that we brought in left a bad taste in this team's mouth. And I think it did have a ripple effect, honestly, on why we saw the Cowboys do absolutely nothing when it came to free agency, because they kind of got burnt last year. And, Stephen Jones, he kind of reached out last year and said, all right, let's make some moves. And it didn't work out. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that no more, bro. I'm cool, so I'm not going to do nothing. Let's see here. Carlos Holloway, do you have an NBA team? Yep, man. Dallas Mavericks for life, man. Shout out to my guy, Luka KP, man. So I'm a Mavs fan. As much talent as we have on offense, just got to get them one or two extra possessions a game. Takeaways or everything. Yeah, that's great, Professor O. Like, that's exactly it, man. Just get a few takeaways, get a few stops on third down, and get our offense back on the field. But last year, our defense was so struggling to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, just get the ball back. Just get us the ball back. Just hold them to 3. And that's why if you guys go back to my tweets through the Falcons game or even the Browns game, when everyone was jumping, oh, the game is over, we suck, blah, 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 we should tank. I'm just like, just get my quarterback the ball back, bro. Like, just get Dak the quarterback, or just get Dak the ball back, and we will be okay because we can do whatever we want offensively. Just get him the ball back. But sometimes the defense kind of struggle just to do that. Moving and Chain says, I have sympathy for Farley. I'm just not sure. I'm tired of Dallas being the official home of chronically injured players. Yeah, I like Caleb Farley. And Caleb Farley, to be honest with you guys, he grew on me. But I can't trust that with the back, man. Like, hell, my back is hurt right now from squatting another day, man. It's just like, if he hurt his back deadlifting, you're an opt-out player. You're having back surgery. You're not going to be available until maybe preseason-ish. It's just too much of a risky investment for me for the Cowboys to take him now. If he slides to the second round, I'm okay with taking Caleb Farley at that position if he slides to the second round at 44. But at 10, no. Trade up, no. I'm taking him at 44. If he falls in our lap, I'm okay with that. But I personally want a guy who's going to be ready to go day one, because at this point, we have done nothing to bring anybody in-house to help. And so we're going to need some bodies out there, and Caleb Farley won't be ready in time. Sean Wade at safety. I've been hearing that idea as well. Sean Wade could be a maybe 4th or 5th round pick, maybe, that you can possibly move to safety. But, here's the thing. I really want to see what are we going to do with Reggie Robinson. And I feel like this is going to be the most important piece of this year versus last year, because we're going to get a preseason now, y'all, and we can sit back and look for ourselves, right? So if Reggie Robinson gets out there and goes has like another Donovan Wilson type showing in preseason, then we can say, all right, why is this kid not on the field? Because last year I had no idea why he wasn't getting the reps he was, and same thing with Bradley and not. Let's see. Mendoza. Anytime the Cowboys have been in the Super Bowl, their defense has been very prevalent in it. I don't know where or why they lost that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was a. Well, honestly, I don't want to say it's a Jimmy Johnson thing since Parcells is a defensive guy. We had Wade Phillips, a defensive guy, but I just don't think they've ever just been all in on defense. Like, I never seen a Dallas Cowboys team that was really anchored by our defense. It's just always been very offensively balanced, and I just don't see that changing. For some reason, I just don't see it. Like, and honestly, where we currently stand, there's a few pieces that we could have added this free agency to really push our defense forward, and we didn't do it. And I just don't see why. Like I said, going back to the AJ Bouye story, saying he wanted to come to Dallas, but they just said they didn't have enough money to make an offer. And so it's just like, all right. Even going back to the KJ Wright situation, you're just like, all right, bro. You have KJ Wright in-house. You know he's a veteran. He's a leader. He's played with Dan Quinn. He's familiar with the scheme. You know what he's capable of doing. Why not just get the deal done and just move forward? But some reason we play games when it comes to defensive players. So I have no idea. Let's see here. It's because Parsons will violate Donovan Wilson in a private way, and everything was played. No Parsons. Yeah, but it's Dallas. It's Dallas, man. Like I said, but if you're an anti-offense guy and you want Dallas to go defense, then I need to hear Parsons come out of your mouth a lot more, because it makes sense. He's the guy that makes sense the most for the Dallas Cowboys defensively, because he's able to instantly help stop the run, right? But we want a cornerback. I think Nolan thought we were a basketball team. Yeah, Nolan was doing way too much, man. Farley is healthy now. He's CB1 for me. Farley had 6 interceptions, 23 games, 13 and Horn combined. Yeah, and that's the thing, Matt. Horn, Surtain, they don't really fit the ball hawk mode for me, man. And that's the thing. Is like, all right, so if you're not going to be a ball hawk corner, right? You're not going to travel, right? You're kind of limited in a few different ways. It's hard for me to say top 10 with that, man. Like, going back and forth with this whole corner idea. Corner just doesn't make sense to me, y'all. And I tried to force it, and I'm still kind of forcing it. It just doesn't make sense, man, because I know there's guys deeper in this draft that we can get that can bring the same qualities that these two now that we're talking about, man. But, yeah. Farley is good. He's always been my QB2. Yeah, I can see that. No more conversation, guys. Get a real free safety. Yeah, so let me ask you this, Rashad. Do you think that, we can't really get it in free agency. So what is your options for going and get that free safety? Do you think we should trade for one? Do you think we should draft one early, like in the second round? Or do you think we call up an old Dan Quinn guy who's still out of football? I'm just throwing that out there for the chat, man. What should we really do to address this free safety position? Now, y'all know me, how I get down. I'm picking up the phone, and I'm calling the old Dan Quinn guy, and I'm also drafting the guy. But, that's how I would get down. I wanted to see Bradley and I think we all wanted to see Bradley and I. Bradley and I had one great rep against the New York Giants. He came out, he read the bootleg efficiently, he read his assignments, and then that was the last we saw of Bradley and I. As much as we got killed on the bootleg last year, Bradley and I came in, Daniel Jones rolled out. He almost had a sack his very first play. Daniel Jones did a forced throw, and that was the end of Bradley and I. So I just don't understand it. I think Jay Lou. This is a good point. So we talked about this on around the nation. Around the nation, right? I think Jay Lou might go to safety. He's a clone for that type of corner that Quinn likes to put at safety. Yeah, and that's been the conversation. Is like, do we move him to free safety? So as we currently stand, we have Trayvon Diggs, of course. We have Anthony Brown. We have Jordan Lewis. We have Kennedy. And I think that's all of the corners that's currently in-house. And if I'm missing someone, let me know. And then we have free safety. We have KZ, Reggie Robinson, and then possibly sliding Jordan Lewis back. So I said I was open to moving J. Lou to free safety because the one thing J. Lou does, he can dissect the play. He can come downhill. He can tackle. He's around the ball frequently, and he can make turnovers happen, right? That reads safety to me, right? I feel like he's not a great outside corner. I really don't trust Jordan Lewis as being our outside corner starting day one. So if he's going to play for us, he's going to either be a slot guy or he's going to be free safety. Now, if he's going to be a slot guy, then what are you doing with Anthony Brown? So it's a competition thing. You maybe move on for Anthony Brown. I don't know. But where I would currently stand, I would feel more comfortable if we did start Jordan Lewis day one at free safety, maybe have Anthony Brown at the slot, and then depending on what we do with the other outside corner, that makes me a little bit more optimistic about our secondary than where we currently stand. Because I'm just not high on KZ, y'all. Yeah, I would be okay with playing Anthony Brown at the slot or in the nickel corner. So yeah. So McGuire Rashad said Richie Grant in the second. Yeah, so we going back to that. That was the original topic of the conversation, is where do you go as far as drafting a safety? I think Richie Grant, Trayvon Moehrig, and also Jamar Johnson out of Indiana would be second round guys that you have to pull the trigger on. So if you're going to get a Richie Grant, you're probably going to have to pull a lot quicker, and you might have to possibly move up. I mean, I think he might be the first safety off the board, to be honest with you guys. So if you're going to go get a Richie Grant, you might have to be aggressive in going to get him. But I wouldn't be opposed to adding Richie Grant. You know, I was just having the conversation, though, it's just how does he fit with Keanu O'Neal in house, Donovan Wilson in house. But maybe they're going to work some things around and shift things around. So I would definitely be open to getting a Richie Grant. But personally, for me, as I was saying earlier, I would wait to probably get a safety in the third or fourth round, depending on how the board starts to flow on draft night. Yeah, my guy David says Washington from TCU, man. Like I said, man, Washington is my guy, man. Like I like a Darius Washington, man. And he's just one of those guys that he kind of gives me like I hate to keep calling these players like fake Gucci belts, man, but like a fake Gucci belt Buda Baker. Like, he kind of gives me that type of a vibe, man. So I like a Darius Washington. Hearing his interview the other day, he was very, confident in himself. He talked about his pro day numbers. You really can't measure a man by his size. You got to measure him by his play and by his heart. And I feel like he's a guy that can come in and make things happen in Dallas. So I'm all for a Darius Washington. Where he falls, I think he might be fourth round. So maybe at 99, that would be the guy to go with. But I wouldn't be opposed if we took him in the third. I would be definitely okay with that. Just go get him, because I feel like he's that true single high guy who we need in Dallas. Let's see here. Good question. So my guy Carlos asked, how much would you sign Earl Thomas for? Now, I'm going to be honest. I would Stephen Jones Earl Thomas, because you've been out of work, bro. You've been out of work. You had some issues, right? And so if there's any player that needs to be Stephen Jones, it would be Earl Thomas. And I feel like if you can make it flexible for a one-year deal, I feel like Earl Thomas would be open to that, because he's coming in and playing with Dan Quinn. And here's the thing. Let's say, for instance, Earl Thomas was to come in, and he's a complete jackass, right? We can always just move on from him, roll with DeMonte KZ, and call it good and cut our ties with him. But you have a player who is everything that we really need, just sitting at home doing God knows what. I'm giving him a phone call. As my guy Law Nation would say, have a cup of coffee and to see where his head's at, see what he's up to, man. But I wouldn't give him a disrespectful one-year deal. But I would have leverage if I'm Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones, especially if Dan Quinn's on that phone call calling Earl Thomas. So I would be all open for him, man. What's up, Jim, man? My guy, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. If we sign Parsons, there's no excuse for not signing Earl. Yeah. And here's the thing. When did Dallas Cowboys start having issues about character issues? Like, we had Greg Hardy in house, for crying out loud. We had Pac-Man Jones. Like, Jerry Jones, I know if you can help us win ball games, you're going to come to Dallas and you're going to help us win, man. Jim Law has said, do you believe Reggie Robinson will see a huge increase in playing time? We spoke about that, man. And I think that it's going to be a competition, and he has an opportunity to possibly, get more playing time than what he got last year, just being a special teams guy. It really depends on how KZ performs throughout camp. Will we have another Clinton Dix situation? Hopefully not. But I feel like Reggie Robinson will be a guy that can compete for some more playing time. And I feel like what's going to be most important for a lot of these guys that we really didn't see last year, pretty much the Bradley Aniz and the Reggie Robinson, is, like I said, having a preseason, man. being able to get out there in game situations versus other teams and really see what you can do, I think it's going to help benefit. Because the guys that missed out last year by not having a preseason, I would say the most, was Bradley and not. Because if he got out there and was getting pressure on the quarterback and making a few things happen, we would have been beating the table a lot louder for Bradley and I, but we just didn't know. We didn't get to go to camp last year. So we were just going off what people were tweeting to us. But this year, hopefully we'll be able to be in Oxnard. We'll be able to see preseason for ourselves, and then we can really digest and give analysis on what we're seeing going on out there. But I think, Reggie Robinson should see a lot more playing time, and also Bradley and I, which I'm very excited, because Bradley and I was one of my favorite players coming out of last year's draft that we ended up getting. So I was very high on Bradley and I. Rashad says, no more converting guys to safety, draft Grant, and second and be happy. True, I can see that, man, because a lot of people don't understand going from corner and playing safety is completely two different instincts, and not a lot of people have it. Some talented corners, they're able to digest it and move back, but it's just different instincts, man. So that's why I want a true, pure guy who can just play that free safety, especially in a single high, man, because you're going to be back there on an island by yourself. You're going to be required to do a lot and know a lot. So I can see that. Yeah, I'm not personally drafting Parsons, but if we do, YOLO sign early. Let's go all in. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to gamble, put all your chips in, man. You know what I'm saying? If you have $100 in your pocket, you're going to put $90 on the blackjack table, man. Just put the whole $100 in. If you lose, man. Re-up later. And use that comp pick to go grab Diablo just to make me happy. Moving Chains wants a Diablo jersey, right? That's what she wants. Let's see here. Let's see what we got, guys. Facebook's popping. He most likely got suspended for a while. Let's see here. I'm not sure who's speaking. Who got suspended for a while? If we miss out on Pitts, I want Brevin Jordan out of Miami. Yeah, he's going to be one of those kind of guys. And I've been hearing talks, y'all, that the Cowboys are interested in bringing in a tight end or drafting a tight end. So that kind of debunks their whole, we don't need a tight end. We don't need a tight end. So just do with that as you will, man. But I've been hearing talks, outside the Kyle Pitts hype, that the Cowboys are looking at possibly bringing in tight end in this draft. So might as well get the best one, right? Let me see. Randy Gregory. So what is everyone saying Parsons has red flags? So he had some issues about him saying, some like hazing incidents where he was calling himself, Sandusky and stuff like that. Also, there's a possible issue of a, gun prank that he had like in high school on campus and some few other things. And when I watched Parsons' pro day interview, he was very immature, man. Like, it was just like, it was not job interview like, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's where I see, like, because I watched the pro day interviews. Like I said, y'all, I'm one of those weird guys. So I like that part because I want to see where your head is, right? And Parsons' pro day interview, go and watch it. If I find it, I'll post in the link. It was very just, giddy. And here's the thing I'll say about Parsons. We already have was athletic linebacker in-house in Jalen Smith, but doesn't have it really up here. I need a cerebral linebacker to go along with the talent, right? I just don't need to see a guy who's just a physical specimen, but he can't comprehend and digest what's hell going on, because we'll be right back in the same predicament that we're currently in if he doesn't have that, right? And so when I'm looking at a linebacker, that's why I'm so high on Nick Bolton. I know a lot of guys have been off on Nick Bolton, but Nick Bolton, he has it up here. He doesn't have the physical stature that Parsons have, but he has it up here, and I feel like he's able to make up with it and digest with it by using it. Because I play linebacker, man. That's read and react. Read and react. And if you have a hesitation when you read, it's too late to react. I don't care how athletic you are, man. So that's the one thing that kind of scares me about Parsons, along with the maturity issues. But if you want someone who's going to help with the run, and that you can actually fix your head and wrap it around and say, you know what, this guy is worth a top 10 pick, then Parsons would be that guy, man. I would go with Parsons. Let's see here. I'm looking forward to Reggie Robinson being a pleasant surprise next season. Yeah, man. I want to see Reggie Robinson as well. Trey McKitty is a tight end, a sleeper that I want to get. My guy Mendoza. Let's see here. Do we replace Wally? Yeah, Suwu is Wally's replacement. Yeah, so Suwu's going to be back in the house. Earl Thomas is most likely going to get suspended if he signs because of his off the field issues. So did he have any issues? Like, did he actually get arrested or anything? There was so much going on. I don't even remember, but I don't remember what the last thing was with Earl Thomas. But okay, cool. Sit out 8 games, and then 8 games you can come back to ready to make a playoff push. I do not care even about Parsons' concerns. No more linebackers in round one. Linebackers are the running backs of the defense. So, Fetz, man, are you a pass on Pitts, gotta go defense guy? Let me know that, man. I don't want an off-ball linebacker at 10. Yeah, I can agree. But what I was saying about Parsons is when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, our biggest struggle is the run. Parsons helps with the run. We can't draft a defensive tackle at 10. That makes zero sense, right? So if you want a guy to really come in and fix what happened last year, Parsons will do a better job at fixing that than drafting another cornerback. Let's see here. Parsons then maybe slide due to his interview. Yeah, man. I think that Parsons might slide to maybe Philly-ish. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But it's also an opportunity he can go be the first defensive player off the board. It really is up in the air on these defensive guys, man, because I really can't gauge who's going to be the first guy off the board. But if one of these teams reaches, whether it's Detroit or Denver, and takes a Parsons or a Surtain, it's going to have a spiral effect amongst the other draft with the defensive players, man. So it's really going to like who's going to reach first. I think Detroit could possibly be the first reach, or maybe Denver. Draft those guys in the mid-round. Tons of starter in the league. Bolton is a great example. Yeah, I agree, Fats. Bolton is my guy. He's my favorite linebacker in the draft, and I'm a KU guy, right? So I'm supposed to hate everything about Missouri, the University of Missouri, but I like Nick Bolton, man. I'm a Nick Bolton guy. Hopefully Jalen proves us wrong this year. I think Jalen will play better next year. I feel like this year, the system, it was just too much going on. There was no continuity across the board. I feel like everyone kind of had a down year. So maybe this is going to be a mulligan, but I'll say this, y'all. If we come out and we see the same exact thing we saw last year, this year, it's time to fully clean house with all these players. DeMarcus Lawrence got to go. Randy Gregory got to go. Jalen Smith, all of you, grab your bags and get out. This is going to be our third defensive coordinator, and you guys still can't put it together. The excuse is out the window now. Right? You can't say it was Mike Nolan, his scheme. He's not a teacher. Okay, this is your third time with a brand new defensive coordinator, new coaches in house, new scheme. He's going to simplify things. If you still can't comprehend and figure things out, then you just aren't the answer. We need to clean house, man. So let's see here. Okay, my guy Fett says, no, Pitts falls, so it's a 10. I'm good with the pick. All right, let's do it. Speaking of running backs, what round will you look at running back, if at all? So this was a topic because a lot of people were having questions about Ezekiel Elliott, and this was brought up around the nation, right? If Ezekiel Elliott was to slide and have a down year next year, could the Cowboys look for moving out from him? I personally don't think that's the case. I think Zeke's going to be a Cowboy for quite a long time. But it really depends on what type of running back are you looking to bring in. So me personally, the way I have things set up, I have maybe like the 6th round. I would kind of poke my head to see what's out there. Whether it's, a Hill out of Mississippi State or, my guy Puka Williams, or there's some other guys out there that kind of lingers in these mock drafts. But, I would probably use one of these late comp picks on a running back just to get an extra body in there because we have, extra game in there. Preseason's back. You're going to need more than 2 bodies, which is Zeke and Pollard. So I would bring one of these guys in and see if they can, add another dynamic. But I don't think that we will draft a running back with the intent that we're going to move on from Ezekiel Elliott. I know a lot of people were down on Zeke last year. I think he just tried to take on too much on his shoulders and just didn't meet the mark. But for the most part, Zeke isn't an issue for me. I think he'll be perfectly fine. Just hold on to the ball. Once we have Dak back, our offensive line, things will open up for Zeke. So I'm still very high on Zeke, man. My guy Fed says, I say Pitts fits as a red zone year 1. 10 touches as a rookie. He does not have to catch a lot of balls. Yeah, but people don't want that, man. They want Pitts to be a 1,000-yard receiver in order for it to make sense. But if he scores 10 touchdowns, he's not worth the 10 pick, man. So I can't have it. I have a feeling that Pitts is coming to Dallas if he's still there at 10 over Surtain and Horn because having nightmare pass on Randy Moss. Yep. And can you imagine this? Imagine the scenario, y'all. And this is somebody I don't want to go through on draft night. If Pitts is there at 10, we pass on him, takes Surtain or Horn. and then Pitts goes to Philly, and we have that first game versus Philly, and he completely carves us up. I can't have that on my heart, y'all. I just can't. I just can't. All right. So if here's where I'm at with the Pitts thing. If he goes early, that's perfectly fine. Kudos to him, well deserved. But we don't pass on him. We just don't pass on him. That's my knock. Just don't pass on him. I'm perfectly fine, man. Let's see here. Jesse Holly said Jalen didn't have the football IQ. Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into it, man. Like, there's a lot to dissect because you can see it. Why is Sean Lee still able to maintain a roster spot with all of his injuries, right? His lack of ability, lack of speed, because he can digest, right? He still has it up here, right? If Sean Lee has anything, he has it up here. And I feel like if you're going to take that out of Sean Lee like Frankenstein and dump that in Jalen Smith, then you have an incredible linebacker. But for Jalen, it just doesn't comprehend. It's a slow process for him, and he just doesn't diagnose well, man. That's just not to Jalen, but it just is what he is, man. So he has to fix that, but it comes with more film study. And here's my thing. All this is about players. This always concerns me. How do you have such a cerebral linebacker, a veteran, all-pro talent, Ring of Honor caliber player, and Sean Lee in-house, and you not have the same mindset as Sean Lee, right? Because here's my thing. If I play for the Cowboys and I'm a linebacker, every time Sean Lee's watching film, I'm watching film with you. So what are you doing? You going to the film room? Okay, I'm going with you, right? What are you doing after practice? You going to the film room? I'm going with you, right? I would be trying to dissect and I would be a sponge trying to learn everything he sees. But for some reason, it just hasn't sunk in with some of these linebackers. I would even toss in LVE in that same category. It just hasn't sunk in. And you have this resource in Sean Lee. You should be picking his brain apart, man. And I just don't see it, man. And that's the frustrating part about with these linebackers. Keanu Neal and T-Bash is going to phase out Jalen. Yeah, we can see. The hard part, I mean, I'm open to it, man. I would love to see some of these players that we are so accustomed to seeing get pushed out of their starting job. I feel like that's the tone that Mike McCarthy really needs to set, right? We always see it in camp, earn the star, earn the star. They have no star logos on their helmets, and earn the star. Bro, if you got paid and you got your contract, your star's already earned in Dallas. Let's change that. Let's come out, and all of a sudden we're looking back, watching the game, and be like, bro, where's Sean Lee? Where's Van Der Esch? Right. Oh, damn. Where is Jordan Lewis? Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's have an open competition where the best man plays. Because Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, these aren't your guys. And so it is what it is. If they die, they die. Right? They're not your guys. And so you can go and really, if Keanu Neal, and you think Keanu Neal is better than Jalen Smith, then get Jalen Smith the hell up out of there and you roll with Keanu Neal. Now, granted, we all know up above could put that pressure, but let the coaches coach and make the decisions. They're out there. They're knowing what they're trying to accomplish, but you can't do that with someone constantly telling you what you need to do. And that's how I feel about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with this. Like, you really need to let these coaches coach, man. Sometimes I have this conversation with my wife, man. Sometimes I'm cooking dinner, but she's over my shoulder telling me what utensils to use. Add more, add this. All right, well, then you know what? You cook then. I'm out. I'm out. Like, you know what? Like, damn. If you're not going to let me cook how I want to cook and use the tools that I want to use to make dinner how I want to prepare it, then you cook. It's that simple, man. So it's like, yeah, I feel like Dan Quinn really needs to come in and have the ability to establish himself, be a vocal leader, put in what he wants to play, and use the ingredients that he really wants to use. It's really that simple. And what Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones needs to do is just be rich, get ticket sales, get business revenue, and let your coaches coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. It is. So, so that's it. She said, you better listen to her. She's pretty hot. I think you married up. No, she married up, moving chains. Get it right. Especially if you draft my guy Browning, the phase out gets closer. Yeah, Baron Browning is another guy. Let these young boys come eat, man. Let these young boys come eat, and if they get phased out, they get phased out. It is what it is, man. I would show no mercy if that was to happen. I wouldn't be like, oh man, we're losing because Jalen Smith is out there. Nah, nah. If Jalen Smith gets benched, yeah. If Tony Pollard comes out in camp and he's playing better than Ezekiel Elliott, you know, like it is what it is. Like you have to have, it's like you have to set that mindset, right? A competitive mindset where you're competing in house and you're competing on Sunday. If you're settling on all Monday through Saturday, it's easy to settle and be lackadaisical on Sunday. No, change the identity, man. Everyone comes to compete. Everyone comes to play. And may the best men win and get the job, man. I'm all for it, man. Steve says profitability is the priority number one. Yeah, man. And they're going to be 100% capacity. I can't wait to see you guys next year. But Jerry Jones going to get that money next year. I can tell you that for damn sure. I mean, you already see like he has WrestleMania coming to Dallas next year, boxing events. He's going to get that moolah next year one way or another, and he's going to be back. Yeah, that all begins with leadership. Yeah. And I feel like that's the hardest part, man. You just don't have defensive leadership yet, right? And even if you draft a rookie, it's going to be hard to get a defensive leadership in a rookie. You know what I'm saying? But we just need the guys to say, you know what? This is trash, bro. Like, I feel like last year, there should have been someone like throwing a helmet, kicking over a trash can. Like, bro, like you let D'Ernest Johnson from the Browns run all down your throat, and you wasn't mad about that. You were just cool. You know what I'm saying? You putting your hot boys chain. Like, bro, like, why aren't you pissed off? Why aren't you as pissed off as we are watching this? That's what I don't understand with some of these players, man. They're so lackadaisical, like it doesn't matter. And it's like, it's hard to watch and really digest, but it comes back to culture. If the owner ain't tripping, we ain't tripping. Like, what kind of comment is that? Like, but it lets you know where their mindset really is, man. If I see Sean Lee, I want to be wearing a headset as assistant coach. Yeah? When you think about it, man, normally retirement announcements have probably already been made for the most part. If I had to bet, I say Sean Lee returns next year. And I say, you know what? The Dallas Cowboys are going to let him do it. Right now, we're currently saying I think Sean Lee will be back. And that's where we really are. You know, like, so it's like, You know, but it was so sad last year. I was like, oh, man. Oh, we hope we can get Sean Lee back, right? I need Sean Lee back out there. Like, maybe he can change things. Like, that's kind of like the old Cowboys feels like, you know, our defense is going to get better once we get Sean Lee back. I'm like, no, Sean Lee's not that guy anymore. Our defense is not going to get better when he gets back, man. But I was just hoping for something to spark. Yeah, Carr and HaHa spoke up last year and got cut. Brandon Carr, one of the most nicest guys in the NFL, came out and said, I don't know what the hell we trying to do, but this is trash. You know what I'm saying? I doubt that Carr was, you know, causing a scene in the locker room. I doubt he was, you know, trying to rally the troops against the coaches. He probably just came out and said, bro, what the hell are you wanting us to do? Because none of us can comprehend that. This doesn't make any sense. Cowboys cut him. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. What it is. No, they like to hire ex-players to coach in-house. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree. I think Sean Lee would be a great candidate to be a coach. But we also got to understand, man, it's a new day. Like, these players aren't tied to, you know, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn. So if anyone's going to do it, it's going to have to be Steven and Jerry Jones to really say, you know what, we're keeping Sean Lee in-house, and he's going to be a part of your coaching staff. Right? Because we all gone through it. We all gone through it, whether it's working or professional lives, right? We have a manager that we like. You know, he kind of lets us take longer lunch breaks and do whatever. You know, we're really cool with our manager. Well, he moves on to a different position with this new manager. And he's saying, bro, you're 10 minutes past your lunch break. You're like, what the? Oh, but my last minute, because I'm not his guy. I'm just not his guy anymore. So it's like, you got to deal with that, man. So it's like, you know, where does Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy really see when it comes to Sean Lee? Like, granted, we love Sean Lee. He's ours, the Dallas Cowboy. But, you know, think about what Mike McCarthy did with Jason Witten. He was like, all right, it ain't going to work with you here, bro. So I don't know what you're about to do, but you're not about to do it here. So I'm not sure if Mike McCarthy is ever going to have that conversation with Sean Lee, but that remains to be unseen. Around the Nation was fire, spitting on fire all show long. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Definitely tune into Around the Nation with me, Skywalker. It was Cowboy Joe Rod from CowboysBlog.net, Space Cowboy, and Dan Sturchio on episode 2, man. So I appreciate Skywalker for bringing me on, allowing me to get my voice. I almost won. I was 1 point short. I missed at the buzzer, man. But it is what it is. It was a fun show, man. But definitely tune into that, man. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. I just wanted to kind of chime in. Like I said, I really haven't had much shows on my channel where it's just me. Just me talking to my family and, saying, going over things, man. So I appreciate you guys for chiming in. I having fun with you guys. Like I said, I appreciate all your support, man. I remember I was doing these shows. There's probably like 2 people on here. Like my 2 sons were upstairs chiming in. I want to make sure the chat worked and whatnot. But we've grown so much, man. Like I said, I want to try new things out. We got sound effects. So we're gonna have fun, man. I got a lot of fun guests coming on in the next few weeks, man, that I'm excited about, man. Almost had one of these players that I had listed on my show, man, but it kind of backfired and things didn't get worked out, man. So we're trying new things. We're trying to work, man. But I appreciate you guys, man. Definitely comment and subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell. Like I said, we got some more shows coming up. Catch me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central with my Stargang family, Mary Ella, Spoonie, and BJ Nix. And then Thursday night at 8 Central, I'm going to be with Space Cowboy. We're doing a mock draft there. And then Friday night, once the weekend is coming around, you know how we do. We might just do another mock draft party, pull out the Ciroc, pull out some music, have a good old time. You know how we do, man. But I appreciate your support, man. I cannot do this without you guys. A lot of people have been asking about the CFO merch. The CFO store will be back on Monday next week, man. So I've been doing a lot of work with that. So that'll be back in effect. Shirts, discounts, all that fun stuff, man. Might need a pitch train shirt. I need some pitch train shirt for a draft night, man. And a DJ battle, man. Nix doesn't want that smoke, man. But I appreciate you guys, man. I want everyone to stay safe. Memberships. I don't think I can do memberships yet, man. I'm not sure. But eventually we'll get to memberships and, doing that whole ordeal, man. Custom emojis, all that fun stuff that you guys see on other channels, man. But like I said, it's really not about, the monetary value. I just love sitting back, talking Cowboys football with passionate fans such as myself, man. It's never about me. It's about us. That's what I always said about this channel, man. It's not about me. It's about us, Cowboys fans only as a whole. I get ideas from you guys. You guys get ideas from me. We're in groups. We're on Twitter. We're in group chats. All different things, man. And ultimately, what we're all after is getting that 6th ring and beyond, man. We want to see the best team available out there on the field and get back to winning football where a lot of us are accustomed to seeing. And that's what it's all about, man. So I appreciate you guys for your support. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Peace.